Look, I think it was obviously the losing of regular wickets up front was for me the most challenging bit to deal with. And obviously the ball, how it was spinning out of the rough. And Nathan Lyon's a quality spinner, and it was incredibly tough to face him as well. So quite a few things. Obviously the day in itself was a tough day as well. But yeah, probably those two stood out the most.
Can you talk us through the AB run-up?
Look, it's one of those things. Happens really quickly. Obviously, David Warner's one of the best fielders in the world, and as soon as I saw it was him, I didn't think it was a run. And look, it happened so quickly in the heat of the moment. Very unfortunate, and it wasn't nice to be at the other end and watching AB get run out.
So your senior batsman obviously failed again once again. What do you think you did differently to them to play on those batting service?
Yeah, look, I think it was a sort of wicket where once you got in, it was sort of a wicket where you could develop a plan quite quickly, and then if you could stick to that plan for long periods of time, I felt that was probably the best way to go about it. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of lateral movement off the wicket. The ball obviously reverse swung quite a bit, but in terms of movement off the wicket, which is the hardest to face in general in cricket, there wasn't a lot of that. So look, I'm not going to say they didn't do anything that I did. It was just more of probably staying in our plans for longer and having clearer plans, I suppose.
And do you think the umpire should have called it earlier with the light? A lot of us would have.
Yeah, look, I was actually in the shower at the moment, so I don't know. The word of mouth in the changing room was that it was pretty dark out there. But yeah, I can't really comment on that.
Aiden, good knock once again, leading from the front. It was hot in the mouth moments, and it stopped, and the 90s as well. But take us through the knock and also how you go.
Yeah, I'm happy with how the knock went. Thanks. Obviously, on a personal note, it was quite relieving. I felt quite a bit of pressure building. Hadn't been performing like I quite wanted to be through the India series on tough wickets, and then to get a start in the first dig and to not go big it bothered me quite a bit. But yeah, today fortunately it was a day where I had a bit of luck on my side and ran with it. So I'm happy with how the day went for myself.
You mentioned David Warner being one of the best fielders in the world. When did you realise on 99 that, oh crap, that's who I've actually hit the ball to and run?
No, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually Pat Cummins at mid-on. I made it quite clear to myself not to run to Warner. I definitely would have taken the run if it was to him.
It was pretty hostile out there today. I think it looked like you got a bit of a reminder about the run out as soon as it happened. What sort of, were you comfortable with the way that it was played out there today, and are you proud of how you came through that, I guess, that element of the challenge?
Yeah, that was a massive challenge today as well. Obviously, it's natural when you play against the Australians that there's a lot of chatter on the field. Something I certainly don't mind, something that really keeps me in the game and keeps me going, keeps me motivated. And it never really gets out of line either. Not a lot of swearing and things like that happen. There are a few here and there, but it's not the end of the world. And I believe it's part of the game. It's how the game should be played, nice and hard, and it makes success that bit more rewarding as well.
So there is Stines, Bongani, Ben, and then Colin.
And do you think the one-day captaincy, what sort of impact did it have on your game, or just mentioned you weren't playing as we saw you playing before?
Yes, and I second what he said. It was quite a tricky stage for me. Obviously, trying to establish myself on the side, and then along with that, trying to lead a side of a very strong side as well against a very strong Indian side. So it was incredibly challenging for me. I found myself, in terms of batting, not all that much in the moment. It felt very rushed and a lot like a blur. For what reason, I'm not so sure. I haven't worked it out just yet. I'm sure captaincy did have a bit to do with it. But having said that, it's something I do really enjoy, and I did really enjoy the time I did captain. And going forward, if I were to establish myself in the one-day side, I think it would become a little bit easier next time.
Is there like now a sense of what could have been if you guys performed in batting-wise and bowling-wise in the first innings as you did in the second innings when bowling was now quite more cheaply in the first innings and the way you played? And that also
It does definitely give us confidence, yes. Obviously it's a very long series and every innings is vitally important in the context of the series. So we would have liked to have done it better in the first week, especially with the bat. But having said that, what's done is done, and we had to fight away in our second innings with the bat today. And I thought the guys showed a lot of fight. A guy like Tennis De Bruyne who took it to a guy like Mitchell Stark. Probably very unexpected for most out there, but it shows the fight and the character within the side. And then a guy like Quinny as well. So it was good to see. A lot gets said about a guy like Quinny, that is all talent and whatever, but today showed a lot of fight and a lot of character, which is good going into the rest of the series.
And you made runs all through the age groups, Titans as well so heavily, but given the pressure and the quality of that attack, is that your best knock to date, and what makes this Australian attack so relentless?
It would probably be up there with one of my best knocks, yes. A lot to do with the pressures that we had to deal with, the pressure of a great bowling attack, and then the pressure of not having performed how I wanted to in the past sort of 2 months as well. So yeah, I'm happy with how it's gone. Obviously they, like I've mentioned, they're a great bowling attack and they just keep coming at you, which is good. Like I mentioned, I do enjoy it though, because it keeps me going, keeps me in my plan. But yeah, it's nice to have got through today.
And the disappointment of falling when you did and the way you did?
Yeah, look, I was very disappointed because I knew the light changes quickly in Durban, as we've seen with the previous days. And Quinn and I said to each other, if we can just get through another half an hour, before you know, we might end up being off very shortly after that. And look to run one down and try beat point and get 2 or 4 for it, and it was probably not needed at the time. A little bit loose, a little bit actually out of my game plan, and often that costs you the wicket.
And the next one.
And you were close enough to hear what they were saying to you, and did it get in your head at all?
I think just having what happened obviously did affect me a little bit. And you hear every word out on the field, but I don't speak back on the field. I try to just get on with what I do, and it's there. It's always going to be there. Like I said, it's part of the Australian side to keep chatting to batters. But yeah, it's something that I actually really do enjoy. Yeah, it'll keep coming for the rest of the series, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
Did the dressing room have any issue with Nathan Lyon dropping the ball in the AB when you celebrated with it?
Oh, it's not been spoken about once yet. I didn't even know that happened. It's not been, from what I can tell, I've not heard anything like that you said in the change room.
Yes, Colin. And you done Ken and then the rest of the last.
Aiden, you mentioned the pressures coming into this innings. Has this not done anything for your belief that you can play, that you can really succeed against the very best, or did you already feel that before?
No, this knock's definitely helped with that, Ken. It's obviously a belief factor in cricket that we play is a massive thing. So today would have gone a long way in giving me belief going forward, not just for the series, but just in general going forward. So it was very nice. And yeah, it's something that we got to keep building on. You can't take moments like these for granted.
Was there a moment out there you thought we could actually win this?
Look, I didn't really monitor that while I was out in the middle. Anything is possible though, and we've showed it in the past as a side over quite a few years back. You can think of games off the top of your head, and it would have been great to. It's still not done yet. Would have been great to have been in a position overnight where myself and Quinny were still at the crease, and we never know what could have happened tomorrow. So. But I wouldn't say it was going through my mind at the time. At the time, I was just thinking to try bat for long periods of time with Quinny and make big partnerships.
Thanks.